So in your server management tab, we've got a couple of options here. They're super simple to work with. I'm going to go over the first couple real quick, and then we're going to focus on some really good stuff to really make your site go really fast. No, really. In the master's credential area, obviously that's your public IP address where you'd want to point your domain, your username and your password. Now don't forget, these usernames and passwords go to the overall server. This is not your WordPress password and things like that. Over here in monitoring, you've got all of this part right here. So this is your RAM usage, CPU, disk, all of that stuff. You probably aren't going to care about it too much at first. Under the details part of the monitoring area, you've got all of these cute graphs. Super simple to work with, but then you've also got this thing called New Relic. Now for some of you that are more advanced into managing other people's store, you're really going to want to pay attention to this, because this is the part where you can tie it into New Relic, and that's going to give you deeper server level and really get into all of the options as to what's slowing the site down. If it's not the hosting, then it can be a plugin or something like that. Maybe it's a theme. So let's watch the other two real quick. Managed services. I'm going to skip that one, and I'm going to skip the settings and packages part, because both of those is where we're going to get into what really powers your site when you work with Cloudways that you won't find too often anywhere else unless you're super geeky and you want to go spin all these options up yourself. Let's go over here to the security tab real quick. And what this is if you want to have somebody else manage your site and they want to remote tunnel in via all those geeky things like command lines and things like that, you need to whitelist that IP address, which is great for security because that means only that particular person at that particular IP address can get into your site and no one else can. Vertical scaling is really super simple. Since we're on DigitalOcean now, remember each one of these is going to be different just a little bit. This one right here is going to allow you to scale up, down, or any other way you want. Okay? So if you need 8 gigs, you can get an understanding of how much that will be. Remember, we're on DigitalOcean, and Cloudways is giving us a super easy dashboard. You can attach just a small amount, or again, in pieces, everything from 10 all the way up to, I need a whole meg. Because if your store gets too big and it has a ton of database entries in there, you will need scaling, but this allows you to do it as you go. So you can totally turn all of that off and leave it for right now. One of the other options, which is totally necessary, especially for some of you folks, is to have backups inside of your dashboard and have access to them. You can choose the frequency. You know what? I'm going to play with this site. I'm going to screw something up. I want to have that be 1 hour, which is nuts. But most of the time, you're going to want to have a backup set to once a day at a certain time and keep the local for a week, or you're going to want to, download that somewhere where you don't have to use that storage and those backups within your hosting account. That's something I've said many times to a lot of different folks. Never use your storage of your backups inside of your hosting account, because that counts against your total amount that you're allowed to store. There's really no reason to keep those on there indefinitely, which is what I've seen people do a lot of times. Download those, keep them on a hard drive, put them in wherever you want to. But it's okay to just keep them on there for about a week and then go ahead and download those somewhere locally. Now, having done all of that, that's the email tab. I want to get over here to settings and packages and manage services. So let's get started on that one right now.